Welcome back to Good Day Day, and there is a wonderful show happening at Wright State. It opened last weekend. It's continuing into this weekend. Yeah, it's a cool one with a very cool name. We are now joined by the director and one of the cast members to bring you all the details. Our friends Jamie and Atlas here in studio. Everyone doing well today? Feeling good?
Yeah, doing great.
It's the middle of your show right now. It's in between the 2 weekends of the run, so I'm sure you're pumped right now. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can say the very cool name of the show exactly right. Kelly the Destroyer versus the Springfield Cobras.
You got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so very unique, maybe the coolest name for a show I've heard in a long time. Can you help me out? As the director of the show, can you give me any backstory? Where does this come from? And it's a regional premiere, correct?
It is a regional premiere, but it's also the collegiate premiere across the country. So it's only had a few productions. It was commissioned by a school. And interestingly enough, the cast had already been decided. So the writers, Katie Kring and Rob Hartman, had to design and build this show around the cast that they had in front of them.
Okay, so let's talk about the show itself a little bit because, like I said, a very cool, unique name. How would you maybe, without giving anything away, describe the general plot of the show or any of the themes that run throughout the whole thing?
So I'll give the plot. So Kelly is a new student at Coatesville Magnet High School. And she arrives and she sees the students have a lot of pressure from standardized testing. And there's also something very odd that she notices about the school. She gains some friends and they discover that the education consultant who was brought in to help raise the test scores is actually turning the students into brainwashed, high-functioning Cobras.
Like literal snakes.
Yeah.
Literal snakes.
Snake people.
Well, in human form. But then it's up to Kelly to save the day and discover what's happening and help her friends and the school.
So I always say this, you know, shows, theater shows that have maybe a high level of fantasy or some sort of otherworldly element, I think can sometimes be hard to pull up on stage to really maybe showcase that true dimension of snake people. Tell me about the show itself, maybe yourself or other cast members. What is it like portraying? How are you able to successfully do that?
Yeah, it's really interesting to kind of live in the circumstances of the show. It's a very funny show about snake people, but I think at the heart of the show, I think everybody in their life has kind of felt at one point or another that they're like the odd kid out, they don't really fit in. And so Kelly the Destroyer is about snake people, but also at the heart being about who you are and staying true to yourself.
So a very funny show. I mean, even just saying the name of the show or saying snake people out loud makes me laugh, but as you put it, it's a powerful fish out of water story, one that we hear all the time. Or should I say a snake out of water or a snake out of land? I don't know, but there's a pun there somewhere. Let's talk a little bit more, Atlas, about your role and any preparations that are unique that you've had to do to prepare for this role.
Yeah, so I've used a lot of the training that I get at Wright State University. I take like an hour before the show just to like warm myself up and warm up my body. I'll stretch and I'll do vocal warm-ups and just kind of get into the mindset of being like high energy, kind of like this attack energy to the character.
Of course, a couple other things we need to make sure we clarify here. I said it in the intro that they opened past weekend and they got 4 more shows this weekend. Jamie, can you help me out with exactly how people can come see you guys? What's the best way to get tickets?
Sure, we're in the Herbst Theater at Wright State University. You can get tickets by calling 937-775-2500, or you can go to the School of Fine and Performing Arts website, click on box office, and you can get tickets that way.
We're just about out of time. The very last thing, Atlas, give me a quick appeal to the audience at home. Why should they come watch you guys? Why is it going to be a good time?
It's funny. It's awesome. It's got snake people in it.
3 great things that we are all wanting to see. We appreciate you both being here today, talking about your show. Best of luck this weekend.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Of course, everybody, stick around. More of our show that's coming up. That's after this quick commercial break.